I came home from my business trip early and found an extra pair of men's shoes on the floor. Startled, I quickly tiptoed out with my bag. Close call. I almost forgot my wife's been dating someone recently. One, carrying my luggage, I went to sit on a bench in the community park. Lit a cigarette while watching the scenery, waiting for my wife to finish up. Next time I 1T flies Southwest Airlines, they got me here 2 hours early. Didn't T leave any time for my wife at all, just ruining their little rendezvous on purpose. That guy was my wife's high school sweetheart, dated for 3 years in high school, broke up during college because of the long distance thing. Their old flame reignited at the class reunion a few months ago. They say young love from school days is the purest kind. How absolutely true. I've read all their chat logs. The way they flirted was so tender and sweet, utterly infatuated with each other. I couldn't help but ship them as a couple. Such a perfect childhood sweethearts pair. How could fate keep them apart? It was tea until I put down my phone that I realized, wait, this is my wife. Very well, you two are playing Romeo and Juliet to each other. Meanwhile, I, the government-certified lawful husband, have become the inconvenient third wheel. Just as my mind was wandering, the phone rang. It was a call from that high school sweetheart wife of mine. Whereas your husband, I knew she must have noticed her own husband had gone missing again. I said, stop looking, your husband is at my place right now. There was silence on the other end of the line. Then she gritted her teeth and said, lying to me again, working overtime, right into someone else's bed. How many times is that this month? How many times I pulled out my memo pad and counted the marks, 2 full HS and 1 vertical line. That the 12th time, I answered truthfully how sweet they are. Has your husband mentioned divorce to you? No, that odd. My wife has been pressuring him many times last week. She almost couldn't hold back and was about to confront me, scared me half to death, thought I'd end up divorced before my revenge was complete. Can you stop joking around? All right, no more jokes, seriously. I can't wait any longer. I'm ready to make my move. Everything's going according to plan. You're good on your end, right? No problem. I hung up the phone after 2 seconds. Glancing at the time, I saw only half an hour had passed. Suddenly, I felt like playing with them. I called my wife. The phone rang for a long time before she answered. Husband. I replied with exaggerated enthusiasm, sweetheart, I'm at the community gate. Did you miss me? Chloe couldn't help but exclaim, where in you supposed to arrive in over an hour? The flight landed early. I said, surprise. Oh, what a surprise, came the reply, accompanied by rustling noises on the other end of the line. I guess the two of them were scrambling frantically. Sweetheart, you must have a lot of luggage. Why don't you find a spot to rest near the community entrance? I'll come down and meet you. Chloe came up with a delaying tactic in an instant, showing some quick wit. No need, I said. I'm almost at the apartment building. I'll be there in 10 minutes at most. Honey, we're out of soy sauce at home. Could you grab a bottle from the supermarket downstairs while you're at it? And we're almost out of hand soap too. Like hell, I hung up directly 3. I'm still a relatively kind person, dragging my feet on the way to give them a few extra minutes to prepare. Then I ran straight into the high school sweetheart, right at the apartment building entrance. The moment he saw me, his entire body visibly stiffened. He lowered his head and hurried past me, hair, disheveled, eyes panicked, his shirt buttons misaligned beneath the suit jacket, pants sagging loosely. Hey, I called out just as he was about to step through the door. He froze in place, not daring to turn around and look at me. Suppressing a laugh, I pointed at the business card on the floor. You dropped something, buddy. Only then did he relax, picking up the card before turning and leaving without another word. In the rush, he made a mistake and dropped his briefcase, scattering documents all over the floor. Looks like he came straight to my place after meeting a client in such a hurry. Another hit, taking the elevator, going home, entering the passcode. The moment I stepped inside, I was hit by a strong smell of air freshener. Chloe hurriedly blocked my path, her face flushed, breathing, uneven clothes disheveled. What were you doing at home? I dragged my luggage into the bedroom. You look exhausted. Chloe clung closely to my side, obstructing the view of the bathroom. Seems she didn't have time to tidy up there, Jay. Just cleaning, she stammered guiltily. The bed in the bedroom was piled with clothes. Couldn't even bother to straighten the sheets before making an even bigger mess, She really had the nerve to come up with this kind of trick. I plopped down on the bed. The blanket was still warm. Do you smell something? I sniffed the air. Smell what? Smell? Chloe's expression stiffened. I don't notice anything. I leaned in close to her and said sternly, something off. You smell like a man. Her face instantly turned deathly pale, as if an invisible hand had seized her throat, rendering her speechless. You used my body wash, didn't you? I laughed. She exhaled in relief and pretended to be angry, punching my chest lightly. Oh, shut up. You're always joking around. Wait, my eyes narrowed. What's that red mark on your neck? Chloe, who had just caught her breath, was startled by me again. Instinctively covering her neck, she stammered, must be a mosquito bite. Mosquitoes in the middle of winter, then it must be an allergy. She tightened her collar. Maybe I accidentally brushed against some pollen on my way to work. I stared at her with a smile. Soon, beads of sweat began to densely cover her forehead. Oh, I nodded. I thought someone kissed it. Stop talking nonsense. She pushed me, her eyes darting away. Don't go around making wild jokes all day. I'm not joking. I said you've been sneaking around while I was away. Chloe was instantly thunderstruck, her eyes widening abruptly and her lips trembling uncontrollably. I pointed at the pile of leftover takeout on the dining table. Didn't you say this stuff was unhealthy the moment I left you started eating? It didn't you? Chloe snapped back to reality, wiping her forehead. It's just work has been busy, and with you gone there, no one to cook for me. Geez, why are you being so jumpy? In just a few short minutes, I played her 3 times. She was so flustered she could barely speak. Watching her squirm with discomfort filled me with immense satisfaction. I could hardly wait to see the look on her face when I finally confronted her with the truth. I'll admit there's something twisted about me. That night, Chloe came out of the shower and clung to me, begging for intimacy. A wave of nausea hit me, and I barely managed to keep from vomiting. I quickly claimed exhaustion and threw myself onto the bed, pretending to sleep. She didn't suspect a thing. After a while, she softly called my name, and seeing that I didn't wake, tiptoed to the bathroom. Soon my phone vibrated. The tracking software ID installed on her phone sent me every move she made. High school sweetheart, he didn't get suspicious. Did he, Chloe? No, just a little neurotic. High school sweetheart, that's good. You scared me to death today. Chloe, what's there to be afraid of? We're getting divorced soon anyway. High school sweetheart sweating emoji. Chloe, have you told your wife yet how much longer? I can't stand this life for another day. High school sweetheart, I'm preparing. Chloe, still preparing. It's been so long. If you don't tell her soon, I'll tell your wife myself. High school sweetheart, no, absolutely not. Divorce is no small matter. We need to discuss many things carefully. Chloe, I'll give you one final week. High school sweetheart, we'll talk about it then. 5, just one final week left. I rolled over and sat up, then added Chloe as parents, uncles, aunts, classmates, and close friends into a WhatsApp group. Sorry to bother everyone so late. The thing is, Chloe and I have an anniversary coming up, and I prepared a surprise for her this weekend. I'd like to invite you all to witness it and have a good gathering. Wow, Leo, you're so romantic, Chloe's best friend exclaimed. Leo, what anniversary? Your wedding anniversary, ISNT. For a while, yet her mother-in-law asked. It's the 8th anniversary of when we officially became a couple. I blurted out casually, Mom, you must come. We'll film a vlog to document it. Give us a hint. What gifts did you prepare? Asked Chloe's colleague. Some flowers and cake plus that bag Chloe kept in her shopping cart, but couldn't bring herself to buy. I got it for her. Oh, and please keep this absolutely confidential. I want to surprise her. What kind of blessed life does Chloe have? Did she save the world in her past life? Jealous, let your husband learn from this. Everyone chimed in with their comments. The atmosphere of excitement and joy was so intense, it seemed ready to spill out from the screen. You're awake already. Chloe returned from the bathroom. The boss called me. I waved my phone. Another business trip this weekend. 1 TB back until Tuesday. Working late again. Chloe feigned disappointment. Well, it can't be helped. I pretended to smile bitterly. Life is but a stage. The next morning, I saw their latest chat logs. Chloe, yes, away again this weekend. High school sweetheart. Then I'm coming over. You'd better be all cleaned up and waiting for me. Chloe, shy emoji sent in the dead of night. Almost the moment I fell asleep. Can't wait. How then? See you this weekend. 6. Weekend hotel. So excited. So excited. Chloe's best friend held a bouquet of flowers, stomping her feet in excitement. Am I the one who leads the cheer later? Yep, Chloe's college roommate. Help check the schedule. You'll distract Chloe, and we'll handle the confetti. Little bro, is the camera ready? All set. The brother-in-law took a group photo. For us, don't worry. I even took photography in college. Leave the recording to me. Leo, it's so thoughtful of you to go to all this trouble. My parents-in-law said warmly, holding my hand. We couldn't be more at ease in trusting Chloe to you. Mom, Dad, I promised you before that I would always treat Chloe well. This is what I should do. The gifts are all wrapped, said Chloe's colleague in charge of logistics. When should we set out? Everyone turned to look at me. I glanced down at my phone. Half an hour ago, my high school sweetheart wife told me that her damn husband was working overtime again. By my calculations, they should be in the heat of battle right now. I'll leave soon. I waved my hand. Everyone follow me. For a moment, I had an illusion. I felt like an ancient general leading a 1,000,000-strong army marching north. Down with the traitor. 7. The motorcade rolled into the neighborhood in grand procession. Upstairs, the elevator was filled with a buoyant atmosphere. The moment the elevator doors opened, everyone held their breath in silent agreement. The quiet tension swelled like an inflating balloon. All were waiting for that inevitable explosion. The digital lock made a sound. I deliberately brought the key. The key slid inch by inch into the keyhole, gently nudging the latch open. My best friend entered first, tiptoeing. She inched her way toward the bedroom. Then she flung the door open. Chloe's surprise. Her words froze mid-sentence, the S sound deflating like a balloon. Her mind went blank, but the people behind her had already arrived. The second, the third, everyone seemed to have been paused. No movement, no sound. It was as if it wasn't Chloe lying on the bed, but Medusa. Those who witnessed her appearance were all petrified. A deathly silence fell. Clatter, the camera slipped from my brother-in-law's hands, its battery skidding a meter away. "What is wrong?" I asked knowingly while dialing the police and heading toward the bedroom. My brother-in-law blocked my path, stammering at that. His face flushed crimson, eyes darting nervously as he instinctively clutched at my sleeve. I looked him straight in the eyes, wanting to hear how he would defend his sister. "There might be some misunderstanding here," he pleaded with me. "Don't resort to violence. Let us talk this through." Misunderstanding? I feigned confusion while scanning the room. Everyone uniformly lowered their heads. No one offered me an explanation, yet they automatically cleared a path for me. So I saw a pale-faced man lying naked on the messy bed, looking utterly embarrassed. His first instinct was to flee, but the bedside was crowded with people. His clothes and pillow were on the floor. There was nothing to cover himself with. He could only stand there stark naked, subjected to everyone as judgment. Chloe lay beside him, burying her face under the blanket, her disheveled hair spilling out, her exposed legs trembling uncontrollably. I knew the play had reached its climax. Generally speaking, there are two scripts for catching adulterers. If I were a hot-blooded man, I should charge forward without a word and beaten up this despicable pair. If I were a lovesick fool, I should grab Chloe by the collar. No, weight her collar on the floor. Now, I should shaken her shoulders and demanded why she'd do this to me. But I'm neither. I'm the scheming type. I came to destroy souls. My foot connected with high school sweetheart's face as I shouted, "How dare you bully my wife?" Then he tightly embraced Chloe and softly asked, "Did he force you? Why didn't you tell me if you were in trouble?" A commotion broke out in the crowd, and I heard the heavy sigh of Chloe's closest friend standing nearest to me. From everyone's perspective, I had meticulously prepared a surprise for my wife, only to witness her infidelity at this very moment. Not only was my genuine love betrayed, but my first instinct was still to believe there must be reasons behind my wife's actions. What a perfect gentleman now! I held the absolute moral high ground. "Chloe, how dare you play me like this? How dare you bully my daughter?" My shrewd father-in-law was the first to grasp my meaning and slapped the high school sweetheart hard, showing his loyalty to me. "You bastard, I'll kill you." Following his father's lead, my brother-in-law punched him square in the face. Blood immediately spurted from his nose. Then my brother-in-law grabbed him by the hair and dragged him off the bed. The high school sweetheart gasped and grabbed Chloe's hand. Chloe was yanked sideways, the blanket falling to the floor, leaving most of her body exposed. She screamed, frantically scrambling to pull the blanket over herself. Seeing this, her mother-in-law rushed to help cover her precious daughter. But the brother-in-law, being single-minded, pulled even harder when he heard Chloe's cries. "You dare pull my sister?" How could Chloe and her mother-in-law possibly match the brute strength of her younger brother-in-law? In the end, the tug of war concluded with the younger brother-in-law's complete victory. Chloe stood completely exposed to the open air. I noticed someone in the crowd secretly recording with their phone. I subtly shifted my position, slightly. Not blocking someone's shot is basic courtesy. Right? Who called the police? Outside, the officers had arrived. I quickly stepped forward, grasped the officer's hands, and said mournfully, "My wife was raped." The officer froze for a moment, then patted my hand in consolation. "It wasn't rape. It wasn't rape." Hearing this, the high school sweetheart panicked, summoning sudden strength to break free from the beating by Chloe's family members. "We know each other. She invited me here. Ask her if you don't believe me." The policeman gave him a look of disgust before asking Chloe, "Do you know each other?" This was the second challenge I posed to Chloe. If she denied knowing him, her high school sweetheart would be charged with rape, and he'd surely fight back by revealing every detail of their affair. When thieves fall out, honest men come by their own. This show was going to be worth watching. If she admitted to the affair, this testimony would become crucial evidence for my claim of emotional damages during our divorce settlement. In any case, I don't lose. I'm practically seeing things from God's perspective, winning big. Now the pressure was on Chloe. Her mother-in-law had found her pajamas to wear, and everyone was staring at her as she seemed mentally disoriented. "Do you know him?" the policeman asked again. "Please answer truthfully." Yes, Chloe nodded. Her high school sweetheart let out a sigh of relief. My father-in-law's face darkened instantly and slapped her hard across the face. How could I have raised such a disgrace? I wasn't surprised by this outcome. Anyone with eyes could see they obviously knew each other, especially since among the guests was one of Chloe's high school classmates. But the performance still had to be convincing. I pretended not to believe it, shouting impossible as I rushed out of the house. 9 The Revenge has entered its second phase. I booked a gaming-themed hotel for 7 days. Then I turned off my phone and dusted off the games that had been sitting untouched in my favorites folder. Officially entering my happy place when I got tired, I'd order takeout, watch movies, and chat with experts on Reddit. Life was fulfilling and joyful in a daze. It felt like I had suddenly returned to my college days. No one would force me to endlessly strive for a bigger house or a higher salary. No one would glare at me with disapproval just because I took a short break. I spent less than $500 in 7 days, yet the happiness I gained surpassed the total of my 5 years of marriage. Indeed, people only realize the value of what they lost after it's gone. You'll never know how wonderful single life is until you've been married. A week later, I reinstalled WhatsApp and turned off Do Not Disturb. My phone vibrated for over half an hour. Scrolling down revealed nothing but unread messages. A quick glance showed Chloe and her family had been frantically trying to reach me. My soon-to-be ex-in-laws claimed Chloe had completely reformed, swearing she'd follow my every word without question if I'd just give her another chance. You almost had me fooled while the gossipers were busy speculating. They also offered me their condolences. I scrolled through everyone's live updates about Chloe's family. The scandal exploded on the very first day, creating quite a stir in the local community. Major local news blogs and influencers were sharing and commenting on it nonstop. I was included in the material for why men don't want to get married anymore. The next day, Chloe's family didn't leave the house. The neighbors' scorn nearly drowned them. On the third day, Chloe's company issued a statement. It declared that Chloe's behavior had severely damaged the company's image and reputation, resulting in her termination. Chloe didn't dare go back to collect her belongings. The company sent someone to dump all her things into the trash. On the fourth day, I was just getting into it when her family called. Hello, I answered. Leo, you finally picked up. Her father's excitement rivaled Columbus discovering the new world, or me receiving my first pair of Air Jordans. Where are you now? We'll come find you. EV had serious talks with Chloe these past few days. There's still love between you two. Don't. I'll come to you. I interrupted. Some things are better said face to face. All right, fine. But Leo, with all these years of feelings between you two, don't do anything rash in the heat of the moment. All these years of feelings, I used to think Chloe and I would grow old together too. But it was until I read those chat logs that I realized in all the cracks of our years together, there had always been someone else's shadow lurking. Chloe pursued me not because of that nonsense she spouted about liking my steady-driven personality or finding me handsome when I work, but because her high school sweetheart was getting cozy with another girl unable to stomach it. She rushed to find someone to flaunt in return. We got married 3 years later, moving the wedding up by 6 months, not for better day considerations, but simply to marry one day before her high school sweetheart just to spite him. 2 years ago, Chloe got pregnant, but had an abortion without discussing it with me. She claimed my career is on the rise. We're still young. We can have kids later. In reality, her high school sweetheart had returned to their hometown to settle down, and they had reconnected. In romance novels, there's always the trope of an unforgettable first love, where broken mirrors are mended years later. But if you're going to play the chaste widow, then commit to it properly. Have the decency to stay unmarried for life. How noble of you both. How utterly virtuous. You two get a star in your own idle drama while dragging me into the mess. Fucking disgusting. The brother-in-law had been waiting at the neighborhood entrance all along. As soon as he saw me, he eagerly came forward to greet me. The guy was wearing a hat and a mask, looking like he had no face to show the world. On the way, he hesitated several times as if wanting to say something, but ultimately remained silent, merely giving my back a gentle pat. His parents also looked guilty when they saw me. After all, I was now unshaven with sunken eyes, and due to staying up all night, gaming, my bloodshot eyes were veined with exhaustion. He looks utterly heartbroken. Leo, what Chloe did was wrong. We've already given her a stern talking to. Do you think you could? I raised my hand to cut off her father, my voice hoarse. Where is she? It's better if we talk this out face to face. Yes, Leo right. Young people should settle their own affairs. Leo a good boy. I trust he'll handle this appropriately. Her mother added, scold her or hit her if you must, but life must go on. I pushed open the bedroom door. Chloe was curled up on the bed, staring blankly out the window. When she saw me enter, she flinched and couldn't bring herself to look at me. After not seeing her for days, she'd grown noticeably haggard. Her lips were chapped, her eyelids swollen. Clearly she'd been crying a lot. Why the tears? Regret that she should been more careful. So I wouldn't have found out right. Leo has something to say to you. You'd better speak properly. Her mother anxiously reminded her, remember what I told you before. The door closed. The room fell silent. Instantly, Chloe continued staring blankly at the window, her knuckles turning white as she gripped the blanket. Let us get straight to the point, I said. How do you plan to handle this? After another moment, Chloe finally spoke. I'm sorry for what I did, but we should still separate. So this is the result of teaching her a lesson, though I'm not surprised at all. I know Chloe's temper too. Well, she responds to kindness, but resists pressure. The more you push her, the more she rebels. Besides, the love she's yearned for half her life is now within reach. How could she possibly let go? But right now, she lacks the upper hand. I decided to add fuel to the fire, and what if I refuse? She looked up at me and said softly, Leo, forced fruit is never sweet. How amusing. I laughed. 3 years of dating, 5 years of marriage, a legally recognized marital relationship. And now it's forced fruit. What exactly did I force on you? Did I hold a gun to your head to make you marry me? I'm sorry, Chloe closed her eyes, tears streaming down her face. I can give you compensation as long as you're willing to divorce me. At that moment, her father-in-law, who had been eavesdropping outside the door, could no longer hold back. He burst in and slapped her across the face. How dare you say such nonsense? Divorce over my dead body. You want to run off with that scoundrel and become the laughingstock of the whole town. Clutching her cheek, Chloe screamed, I will get divorced. He.S. My first love, my true love, my youth, was already full of regrets. I want to spend the rest of my life drowning in them. The fire of rage burned in my chest, searing my heart with waves of pain. You little brat, keep talking nonsense. My father-in-law raised his hand again. I said, fine, I'll let you go, but is he really willing to divorce for you? He definitely will. You don't understand us. Oh, really? I couldn't help but sneer. This only fueled Chloe's fighting spirit. I'll prove just how much he loves me. Fine, you'd better prove it to me. The day after leaving Chloe's house, her parents kicked her out and publicly declared they no longer had a daughter. The old couple cared deeply about face. This outcome didn't surprise me at all. But now Chloe had all her escape routes cut off. Her first love became her only salvation, but unlike Chloe, I left Ryan plenty of ways out. First, his wife is still pretending to know nothing. For one, because his wife is out of state, even if I make a huge scene here, she should remain unaware. Second, her social circle didn't overlap with Ryan's, and there was no one to snitch on them. So even though Chloe couldn't leave the house during this period, the impact on Ryan's side was practically non-existent. He kept going to work, as usual drinking, as usual sleeping, when tired eating, when hungry. Just to ease his conscience, he tested his wife's reaction several times in a row. The reason he was so afraid of his wife was that he relied on her for a living. 2 years ago, he lost his family's fortune and his job due to reckless cryptocurrency gambling. But relying on his pretty boy looks and smooth talk, he latched onto a wealthy young woman. His wife was the only daughter in her family, owning 2 factories. Over the past 2 years, although Ryan held the nominal position of vice president at the company and his father-in-law showed signs of delegating power, the shares remained under his wife's name. Ryan might appear successful on the surface, but in reality, he could be replaced at any moment. Whether he was treated as a man or a dog depended entirely on his wife's whim. So the bright future with 6-figure annual salaries that Ryan and Chloe boasted about actually had a lot of exaggeration. No wonder Chloe was determined to divorce me, even if it meant leaving with nothing. The domineering CEO, the white moonlight, the first love, the reunion after breaking up, all the tropes were stacked to the max. According to the logic of romance novels, as the disposable second male lead, I was destined to be trampled under the male lead's feet. It's a pity reality isn't a romance novel. Even Ryan's love for her deserve a question mark. The one involved is always blind. Chloe thought Ryan was already plotting their divorce. Actually, I could tell at a glance Ryan just wanted to keep his wife at home while having affairs outside. His wife was in another state bearing and raising his children. His first love was by his side, throwing caution to the wind for him. Spending his wife's money while enjoying his first love's affection, he managed to claim all the good things in this world. The moment the divorce cooling off period ended, Chloe and I rushed to the city hall to finalize the paperwork. Chloe signed without hesitation, clean and efficient, still wearing her makeup. Seems she had another date lined up. I watched her walk away without a trace of nostalgia. I extinguished the last trace of pity, then turned to call Ryan's wife, informing her that today was the day to reel in the net. At exactly 6 in the evening, the tracking software detected Chloe ordering takeout with a note asking the delivery rider to bring a pack of cigarettes. I put on a red delivery uniform and pretended to be the delivery guy knocking at the door. The door opened and Chloe's expression was as if she'd seen a ghost. How is it you? I smiled faintly. Are you two still together? Chloe immediately slammed the door. What is it to you? I quickly wedged my foot in the door. Chloe pushed against me several times, but couldn't budge me, then shouted angrily, Leo, we're already divorced. You have no right to interfere in my private life. Inside, Ryan heard the commotion and came to the door. Seeing me shiver involuntarily, she probably recalled the fear of having her face swollen from being beaten. Get out, or I'll call the police. Chloe bared her claws like a wild animal. Her ferocious expression made me sick, so quick to side with her new lover. Go ahead, call the police, better yet report me for trespassing, then the actual owner of this house can come confront me in person. Hearing this, Ryan's expression changed drastically as he hurriedly stopped Chloe, saying, forget it, you two were once husband and wife. Don't make such an ugly scene. I have to admit, this pretty boy is something else. His mind works fast. Even now, he is still trying to play the good guy. I chuckled. See that your new husband knows how to behave. Ryan gave an awkward smile. I added, one good turn deserves another. I'll also compliment your wife. You really know how to handle people. I took out my phone, recited his wife's phone number, and casually showed him the cheating video from that day. Let us send this video together. Give your wife a little shock. Chloe scoffed. Leo, the first thought you had some tricks up your sleeve. Go ahead and post it. He is about to get divorced anyway, so he couldn't care less. I gasped in disbelief. How could someone be so shamelessly righteous about being the other woman? This was my first time seeing it. I was just about to nod in agreement. Ryan grabbed my hand in a flash. Don't man, let us talk this out properly. Chloe's smile froze on her face. Ryan, what do you mean? Ryan didn't even acknowledge her. Are you short on money? Name your price. I'll pay whatever it takes to delete this video. I chuckled. Aren't you in a hurry to get divorced? Ryan's expression turned grim. Chloe gritted her teeth and dragged Ryan, forcing him to confront her face to face. The moment he turns his head, even slightly, I'll immediately make the sending gesture. Ryan obediently turned his head. As expected, on the right was me, and on the left was Chloe. The back and forth tug of war was wearing Ryan out. Finally, he couldn't take it anymore and shoved Chloe hard. Can you just shut up for once? Can't you see we're dealing with something here? Chloe fell backward onto the ground and didn't get up for a long while. Did your ass and heart both shatter into 8 pieces? I then poured fuel on the fire by reading aloud their adulterous exchanges. Chloe, it's always been you I love. If it weren't for the kids, I would divorced her ages ago. It was all my fault back then. You have no idea how much I regret it. I'm sick with remorse. Now, heaven has given me a second chance, and I swear I'll cherish it, holding your hand and never letting go. I love you, Chloe. No man in this world could love you as much as I do. I read a few lines, then paused to clear my throat, nearly choking on the cheesiness. Stop, just stop. Ryan's fair face flushed red. Name your price. I don't want money. Don't think everyone is like you, placing such importance on wealth. I said, now I'm giving you 2 choices. Either you hit her or I send this to your wife. You decide. Almost before my words had fully landed, Ryan swung and slapped Chloe without the slightest hesitation. Smack! The sharp sound of the slap reverberated through the air, lingering like an echo. The world suddenly fell silent. Chloe turned her face away, her hair cascading down as a red handprint slowly emerged on her pale cheek. She sat there lifelessly, tears streaming down her face as her body began to tremble. I crouched down, gripping Chloe's chin, forcing her to meet my gaze. I enunciated each word coldly. Is this the love you wanted to prove to me? Is this the great love you'd follow even at the cost of your reputation? I thought you meant more to him. 13. I've said my piece. Time to exit. I just sent the signal. Ryan's wife's furious shouts exploded right outside the door. Ryan, how dare you keep a mistress behind my back? The woman stormed in with a few burly men, grabbed the pretty boy, and slapped him several times across the face. What did you promise me when we got married? You live off me, eat my food, and still dare to cheat on me. Divorce, we're settling this today. Get the hell out of my house right now. Several burly men grabbed the pretty boy by his limbs. He turned his head to look at me and screamed, didn't you promise not to send it? I shrugged, my hand slipped, then his wife delivered a swift kick to his crotch. A dull thud echoed. I swear I could almost hear the sound of eggshells cracking. The pretty boy's eyes bulged violently as his body curled inward, veins popping out along his neck like angry vines. His face flushed crimson as if blood were about to drip, and it wasn't he, just me. Every man present instinctively clenched their thighs. The pretty boy lay curled on the floor like a shrimp. Stop playing dead. Get up now, right this instant. We're going to file for divorce. Darling, I was wrong. The pretty boy forced out the words with difficulty. His wife wasn't buying it at all. Well, of course, after holding out for so long, did he really think she'd change her mind just because of a few words? The pretty boy reached out to grab his wife's foot, only for her to stomp on his hand with her high heel. Darling, his wife was already nearly out of sight. The pretty boy scrambled to his feet and chased after her. Soon only Chloe and I were left in the room. Today you must confront him face to face and make him choose his wife or you. I whispered, are you really okay with this? Hearing this, Chloe immediately got up and chased after him. 14. And so on the bustling, lively night market street. People soon witnessed this scene, a woman walking briskly ahead, followed closely by a man hobbling awkwardly with his legs pressed together, hands clasped in continuous apology. There was another woman behind the man, hands on her hips, as she demanded, which of your words to me were true? Choose her or me, make it clear. Clearly this was a mistress confrontation, the kind of drama spectators love to judge. The crowd quickly gathered around. A few eager bystanders even pulled out their phones to livestream the scene. Darling, calm down. Ryan nearly dropped to his knees in apology. You already have stomach issues. Getting this angry will only make it worse. You're so sweet with words, his wife sneered. Nice talk, but I'm furious. Isn't this just your chance to marry your little mistress? The pretty boy whined pitifully. How could I possibly? She was the one who seduced me. Chloe, already annoyed at being ignored, nearly choked on her rage. Zhao, explain yourself. What do you mean I seduced you? The pretty boy continued, ignoring her pleading with his wife. Forgive me this time. There definitely won't be, and next time the children need a complete family. His wife spat. Even a dog knows better than to serve 2 masters. I've spent so much money. If I raised a dog instead, at least it would know who its owner is. Divorce. Spotting Chloe, her rage flared hotter. And you even gave her my pajamas to wear. Goddamn it, Ryan, you've really outdone yourself. Hearing this, the pretty boy turned and yanked violently at Chloe's pajama top. With a loud RIP, Chloe was stripped completely bare in the blink of an eye. Even I didn't react in time. The pretty boy held up the pajamas, presenting them to his wife like a treasured darling. What's yours will always be yours. His wife was completely stunned. Are you sure this will work? Ryan's wife and I booked a hotel room together. Don't get the wrong idea, purely comrades in arms friendship. From this room's window, you could clearly see his house. Don't you trust me yet? I smiled. After working together for so long, has any step gone differently than I predicted? I want him to get not a single cent. His wife still seemed somewhat uneasy. Don't worry, I told his wife to tell the young lover that staying married was fine, but this affair had to end completely. Hearing this, the young lover immediately pounded his chest in assurance, swearing there'd be no problem. Good. Given that pretty boy's nature, who knows how heartless his words might be. And Chloe's reputation is ruined, abandoned by all with her personality. She definitely won T. Let this go quietly. The day of reckoning is today. I lit a cigarette and leaned against the window, waiting quietly. Several hours passed, yet there was still no movement in the house. His wife wanted to text to ask about the situation, but I stopped her. I had a feeling something big was about to happen. Sure enough, several police cars came roaring in. Chloe, covered in blood, calmly got into the police car. Even a rabbit will bite. When cornered, what more tigress? 16 case number 112, lover's dispute homicide. Due to emotional conflicts, Ryan York arranged to meet Chloe at home for negotiations. Unexpectedly, Chloe came prepared. She drugged his drink. When he was off guard, subsequently, Chloe murdered Ryan. After her arrest, Chloe remained eerily calm, claiming this was the deserved punishment for Ryan's betrayal of their relationship. A news article the size of a tofu block became the final resting place of this so-called love story. I lit the newspaper on fire, the cold wind carrying the ashes skyward. In the distance, countless household lights twinkled tonight. The moon shone bright, while stars were sparse. The end.